This is a demonstration video about augmenting an existing robotic telepresence system for remotely visiting a museum with a network of eye trackers that permit the monitoring of the gaze behavior of the remote museum visitors. The robotic telepresence system uses a mobile robot equipped with a 360 degrees panoramic camera to move around the museum while capturing a panoramic video of its surroundings. A human acting as the museum tour guide accompanies and controls the robot during the museum tour. Several remote museum visitors connect to the live streaming video being captured by the robot through a web browsing client and are able to video conference directly with the museum tour guide. Visitors connect via a single robot, but they can control their own view within the gallery. The video shows a screen capture of how an actual visit feels like from a remote visitor's perspective. This robotic telepresence system offers many advantages to remote visitors, such as the possibility of visiting the museum from a distant location or to access digital meta-content associated to the objects on display. The system, unfortunately, also suffers from some drawbacks. One of them being that it is difficult for the museum tour guide to gather a feeling of where several remote visitors are paying attention to during the tour, as opposed to physical museum visitors that through body language and other cues can involuntarily signal to the tour guide where they are paying attention to. The innovative part of this work consists on proposing the usage of a network of eye trackers on the remote computers connected to the robot video stream to monitor the gaze behavior of the remote museum visitors. The gaze trackers used are very easy to configure, requiring only a calibration procedure consisting on the user looking at a number of points on the screen. In the video, we show a tour being carried out by a trial museum visitor. The red disc being superimposed on the video stream indicates the gaze or point of regard on the screen of the user. This red disc is not intended to be displayed to actual users of the remote telepresence system. We use it here only for illustration purposes. The gaze data of the remote students is streamed back to the robot. The robot then can display on its onboard screen the gaze behavior of the remote students superimposed over an omnidirectional representation of the camera video stream of the robot's surroundings. In the video, each disc represents a remote museum visitor's gaze behavior, as displayed on the robot's onboard screen. This metadata feature provides the museum tour guide with a useful feedback signal about where in the museum environment the remote visitors are paying attention to. Being given this information, the museum tour guide can adjust his or her behavior accordingly. We hope you have found useful this innovative way of using a network of eye trackers to close the feedback loop between local and remote actors in a robotic telepresence scenario. Thank you very much for your attention.